Hi. First off, I'm just going to say it's freezing here in London right now. The house is cold, and I'm showing up mostly because I committed to doing one of these videos a week. Um, so there's a bit of resistance. Um, also, I genuinely don't know what I'm going to talk about before I sit here, and I try to just drop into my heart and practice surrender and allow myself to speak on what feels right before we get into some channeling. And yeah, I've been incredibly frustrated the last few days. There's been a lot of energy moving around for me, and I'm struggling to find a balance between surrender and action, when to surrender, when to take action. I've started to become aware that there's a lack of trust in myself. There's a lack of, just the ability to take action and not go into my head, not have to go through every single possible detail that could go wrong, or check in a million times with Nova or Spirit. Is this right for me? Is this right? And yeah, it's interesting. It's been really interesting. There's definitely some unconscious blocks. There's some fears, and I'm just trying to iron those out. Trying to go into some processes around those that will hopefully allow me to move forward in a good way, in the right way. So yeah, it's made me kind of reflect more on trust. How I trust myself, why I don't trust myself, where that stems from. And yeah, I have found the more of a relationship I built with Spirit, the more trust and faith I've had in my life, but I realise I have more trust in Spirit than I do myself, which doesn't feel balanced. And yeah, speaking of Spirit, I think it would be a good time to just channel. And as always, I don't sit down, I don't have a discussion with them. I have no idea what they wish to speak on, and whether it connects to what I'm talking about or not. So we'll see. Just give me a moment, and I'll drop in. And yeah, let's see. Good. We are Nova. We are free. It is always important for you as a human being to allow yourself the ability to have enough trust in yourself that you can generate, manifest, and create certain situations in your life that you desire. If you are feeling victimized, if you are feeling less than, if you are feeling that you are unable to take action, you are in a freeze response. Your nervous system is in a freeze response. Now, what this means is you are quite literally paralyzed. You are unable to move. You have to come to terms with the fact that many of you have become paralyzed. You have been programmed through life's events, through stories, through beliefs of others sometimes, in a way that is not allowing you to grab the ball by the horns. It is not so much your fault, we would say, that you are not able to take action. It is not your fault collectively that you are unable to take the action you need to be brave, to be bold, because often when you were brave or bold as a child, you were told you were too much. You were told you should sit in the chair. Were told that you shouldn't sing so loudly, or dance the way you were dancing, or play the way you were playing. So much of your childhood you were told to be seen less, and to be seen is to really move yourself into a place where you allow yourself to shine, because if you are shining, you are seen. You all have the capacity to shine. That is not to say that you will all be movie stars, but it is to say that you will be seen and noticed for who you are, and who you are as a being, as a shining one, as the light that you are, manifest through you more in whatever capacity that may be, however that may manifest through you, through your will, through your ability to choose and co-create with your soul, is indeed paramount to trust. You have to trust yourself, because if you do not trust yourself, how could you possibly believe that you are able to create or even generate close to the life that you desire? Now, trust is good, and some will say that they live a life full of luck. Well, I was just very lucky. I went from A to B to C to D, almost as if something magic were waving a spell over me. Now, this is good. This happens often to people where it seems like life just flows for them because it was supposed to. It's because there was not the inhibitions, there was not the issues. They found that life just moved for them in an effortless way, and this was because they were allowing themselves to move forwards, but they had to take the action first. You do not get the big break if you were a movie star. If you are sat on your sofa, you have to take action. You have to take a leap of faith, and faith is trust. They are closely linked. Do you see? None of you can have the lives that you desire if you hide yourself away. You must be you. You must be the light that you are. You must make choices aligned with your heart, aligned with your soul, because when you do, things will flow. If you are finding things are not flowing, then guess what? Then perhaps you are trying to create and push in a direction that your soul does not wish for you to move. Perhaps it is just simply not the right time, or it is not the time for you to focus on that project. It is not the time for you to focus on that mission. It is not the time for you to focus on buying a home. Perhaps it is time for you to focus solely on your own healing and soul's ascension. And when we use that term, we understand it is loaded, but we wish for you to understand that in terms of consciousness and the frequency, the base being that you are, the amount of light that you're able to bring into your body, there has been an increase, and that is what we mean by ascension. We do not wish to add loftier terminology into this channel simply for, we would say, clickbait. We just simply wish for you to understand what it means for you to elevate yourself, to bring more of your soul into your body, into your life, into your reality. The more light that you bring in, the more of your soul that you bring in, the more power you bring in, the more you are you, the more of you that is present in this body, the more beauty, the more radiance, the more grace flows in, the more moments of joy, majesty come into being, and you level up your life. You allow yourself to evolve, quite literally, because you are moving from a small candle flickering in a dark room to a sun, a burning sun, illuminating all around, warming those other candles that flicker and whimper in the wind. Those souls who haven't found their light, those souls who are struggling still, who haven't overcome what you have. You become a guide for them. You become a way shower. You become an important part of what is happening collectively. And what is happening collectively is more of you are moving into the truth of your being. More of you are moving into alignment with your own spirit, with your own soul. More of you are gradually graduating, we would say. You are graduating. You are moving into a new school and sphere of learning, and as such there are bumps on the road. There are things that may feel like tricky situations. There are more of your shadows being projected into reality for you to face and for you to deal with, because the light is increasing. The more light there is, as we had said before, the more the shadows will be cast, and the more they will be visible to you to shift, to move through, to make choices of change, to alchemize and transform. Now, we will wish to make something clear. Jake got 2 in his head a moment ago and had to stop the channel. We wish to make this point because it is valid. He is still learning, and he is doing the very best he can, and we love him for his commitment. Now, the important part for him, he will figure out himself. But for you who are listening, this is an important lesson also, because you are all learning to operate in different dimensions now. Jake, when he channels, if he thinks too much about the words that are coming in, he will pull himself back into his mind and lose the flow. And this is the lesson. You need to get out of your mind, and all of you need to get more into your heart and allow yourself to flow more. You are all thinking far too much. The mind is a beautiful thing, but we are sure you are well aware of by now, it's not called mental health by accident. You're all too mental at the moment in this society, particularly the West, and that is why your behaviors could be seen and described as mental, because it is. You're way too mental because you're way more than that. The who and what you are in your being is way beyond your mind. Your consciousness, your emotional body, the energy body is so much more than the mind. The mind allows you to structure and order everyday living and make sense of it in a linear fashion. You are multi-dimensional beings that operate in many planes simultaneously. But if you focus on the mind, you focus on the linear, which is the three-dimensional reality that you inhabit. As many of you are starting to experience, there are greater realms that sit beside this one that you can experience, and in fact will experience more of in the coming months and years to come. Good. We thank Jake, your commitment, your open heart, your courage to keep showing up. If anyone has got this far, we wish to say this to you. Jake is deeply, deeply grateful for your presence. It is not natural for him to sit in front of a camera, but he is doing it because he feels the need to share more of his light, more of us, with the world, and we are forever grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. We hope this channel has given some clarity for you, and we look forward to the next opportunity to speak. I was really hoping they wouldn't call me out on the fact I had to stop. And it's funny that I was talking about frustration, right? And I was just like, come on. And it's exactly what they said happened, is what happened. I got in my head, I muddled up the words because I was trying to think about what did they mean to say graduate or graduation or gradient, and I tripped up over the words, and then that was it, straight in my head. And that's the story, the story of my life a little bit, getting stuck in my head, not able to take action and stopping the flow because I just think way too much about everything. Really, really go round and round and round in my head because I don't feel that I can trust to just take action. I feel like I have to, there's part of me that feels so unsafe that I have to go through every outcome to take action. And it is paralyzing, and it has been for years, and I've got a lot better at it. But yeah, I mean, they really just illuminated some of the issues I've been facing, which is great for me. I hope it's useful for you. As I've said before, I have, a lot to be grateful for. I've got a lot to be grateful for, and I'm just doing my best to shine as much as I can and be myself as much as I can. So again, thank you. If you've listened this far, I will just say, please do visit my website. I'm holding one-on-one sessions where you can chat with Nova. I work intuitively as well. I also do shamanic healings that have been very powerful recently. And yeah, thank you so much if you're listening, and I wish you a good week until the next time I sit in front of this weird light and camera and try my best to keep on shining. So thanks.